I'm a free thinker. I'm thinking for free. I love robots. Guys, I just love them. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted a robot. I mean, who wouldn't, right? Growing up in the 80s, reading Omni magazine and Arthur C. Clarke, I figured having a robot was just around the corner for me, and I was kind of right. Because I actually, right now, I have a lot of robots working for me. I got Siri here on the iPhone. She's doing her best to help me out. I got bank machines telling me I don't have any money, but that I should have a nice day, which is nice of them. The Google robots are out there scouring the web, trying to find the answers to my incredibly important questions, like when is Game of Thrones on? And it's pretty great. We got robots now that are learning to drive cars and that are beating us at game shows. And I would love to have a robot drive my drunk ass home some night. That'd be fantastic. But I'm a little concerned about current human-robot relations. I don't think it's going very well between us and the robots, and I think something's got to be done about it because, as we all know, if we don't do something about it, the robots are going to run amok and murder us all, and we'll all be running around screaming and on fire, and that's terrible. So I fixed it. It's fine. I got it. It's kind of why I'm here. When I was a kid in the 80s, I was just obsessed with computers. TRS-80s and Apple IIs and VIC-20s. I loved them. And computers at the time were simple enough. The software was simple enough that I could get my teenage brain around the whole machine. You could really understand the whole machine, what computers could do, what they were capable of, and what they weren't capable of. And my friend Pat and I, one time, we soldered together a 300-baud modem from a kit that we got, and I got really good at copying Apple II floppy disks, even if they were copy protected, because they had a floppy drive, and I marked on the read-write arm like where the tracks were, so when it got to the track where the copy, it was pretty cool. Sorry, where was I? Oh yeah, okay, so I didn't have a girlfriend as a teenager, but boy, to this day, I could probably fix your computer. And usually what's wrong with your computer is that it's just riddled with robots. Little software robots, evil little software robots, which is too bad because a really well-designed, really elegant software robot is one of the most amazing things. And if you take a really elegant, bless you, software robot and you put it inside a really elegantly designed hardware robot, well, then you can do things like, explore Mars. And if we ever actually find alien life and actually have physical contact with alien life, it's probably going to be through a robot. They're better explorers than us. They're just not as delicate as us meatbags. So in 1998, I got hired by a software.com startup company. It was great. I was making more money than I'd ever seen before, and I was creating software. It was amazing. And the piece of software we were trying to make, it was a video game spin-off company. We were trying to make a piece of software that was a character that lived in your computer. It looked like a robot, a little kid robot, and that it loved you. And the idea was not to work on artificial intelligence. It was more to work on artificial emotions, to try and really get a bond between the user and the software. Because, I mean, come on, if you can have a user actually love their software, there's billions of dollars to be made. This is back in 1998. This is before Facebook, before YouTube, before social networking even really took off. But we thought that it was a pretty good idea. We worked on it for 3-4 years, and we never shipped a damn thing, and I got frustrated and quit 3 months before my shares would have vested, walked away from thousands of dollars because I'm smart. And I resumed my career of entertaining the world 20 people at a time. But 15 years later, I find myself working, I teach comedy and music and creative writing to a group of mentally interesting people. And I have no training in this. So I'm taking this crash course in dealing with people with mental disabilities and autistic people and Asperger's and all these amazing brains that work completely differently than mine. And I'm a comedian. I'm not a psychologist. So I'm constantly just baffled. And we're trying to put on this comedy show. And every day is just weirder than the last. But Hunter S. Thompson said, when the going gets weird, the weird turned pro. So it's really fun. But working with people whose brains work differently than mine has made me think a lot more about artificial intelligence, which is such a terrible, stupid way of saying it, because intelligence, man, first of all, we don't know what intelligence really is, but it's not nearly enough. Some of the people I work with would score incredibly badly on any kind of intelligence test, but they have the ability to emotionally, consciously manipulate me that is just brilliant. There's no other word for it. So I'm doing that, and I'm thinking about brains, and I'm thinking about artificial intelligence, and I'm thinking I don't want the robots to run amok. And I realized while I was talking to Siri that it's not like you're talking to an artificial intelligence. It feels like you're talking to artificial autism. Now, calm down. Please address your hate mail to the organizers of the event. I'm not suggesting that autistic people with autism don't have emotions or that they are robots. Although I did meet one guy who self-identified as a robot. He was, beep boop, I'm a robot, and I think he was kidding. But like, it's a whole new age now, and I'm not gonna robo-shame anybody. So I'm like, you want to be a robot, dude? You get out there, you be the best damn robot you can be. And I, unlike a lot of animals, human beings, we don't have a subspecies. We are just Homo sapien or Homo sapien sapien. There is no subspecies of human. We are all one race, quite literally and scientifically. But it feels to me like our quest to build artificial intelligence, artificial life forms, it feels like we're trying to create our own little subspecies, which I think is amazing. The Robo Sapiens, man, come on. So I'm all for it, but we're getting it wrong. We're not doing it right. And I think it's because we're not doing any kind of emotional connection. Oh, and then there's this other thing. I was reading in Wired about how in Silicon Valley, there's a higher than normal percentage of kids with autism and Asperger's. And I think maybe it's because really hyper-intelligent people who understand computers breeding with other really hyper-intelligent people who understand computers is creating these children who have a higher susceptibility or superpower of autism. And I'm thinking maybe it's a way that we're not even consciously doing it, of breeding a generation of people who understand the machines even better than we do, while we build the machines that understand autistic people better. It's kind of beautiful. Because everything is software. Everything is software. DNA is software. Moral codes are software. It's moral code. It's right in there, right? Society is software. And I'll give you an example. It feels to me right now like society is kind of, we're doing an update. Because in my lifetime, the attitudes towards things like homosexuality and gender issues, it feels like we're updating the software to me. And it's still in beta, and we're not, there's bugs. There's some old code, like racism that we got to get rid of, And in a relationship, when I have a girlfriend, we're trying to write software that works. We're trying to find rules and instructions and ways to deal with variables that increase the happiness and the love that we have for each other. And when things are going badly, the software is not working, you sit down and you try and update the software. And if it works, then you end up with this really beautiful, elegant code. If you've ever seen two people in love, it's beautiful. And the software between them is working really well. For me, it always goes bad and we break up. But my point is that humans have been writing software for ages. So why the hell is the software that we write for the robots that we use in our day-to-day lives so crappy? Because it's just terrible. I find myself yelling, "Shut up, robot," like 5 times a day. And I can't stand it. It seems like every time I turn around, a non-human thing is telling me what I'm supposed to do or what I did wrong or that I owe them money, and it's just too much. And then until I'm just screaming into the phone, going, "Just shut up and die, you robots! I want to wipe out your entire race!" And that's terrible, because it's not the robot's fault. They're not bad. They're just written that way. So if I'm going to be a compassionate person, then I need to be compassionate towards the robots. So, and I don't want them running amok. Nobody wants that. So I asked Siri to define the word amok, and this is what she said. Amok, noun, a psychic disturbance characterized by depression followed by manic urge to murder. Right? Depression, that's the key. We can't let the robots get depressed, okay? We know what happens after that. So, I propose, in order to keep the robots happy, that we, first of all, don't give them jobs in customer service. They can't do it. Terrible. And secondly, and I'm running out of time here, but I really think that we should have a robot Labor Day and just give them a day off once a year. Give the robots a day off, okay? And we'll go back to dealing with each other. You want to Google something? Ask your know-it-all friend, right? We've all got a friend who starts every sentence with, well, actually. So that guy is going to have a great day on Robot Labor Day, you know? And because I'm going to have to actually stop yelling at Siri and start yelling at human beings again, which will be nice. And we'll all remember how much we frustrate each other, and we'll go back the next day, and we'll be more grateful for the robots. They'll have taken a day off, and it'll be beautiful. So I figure March 4th is a nice day because it's March 4th, robot workers. So March 4th, 2016, Robot Labor Day. Thank you. Good night.